Hi, I'm Sandy from LushiousLife.com, and this is episode 3 of Tea Time Behind the Curtain, where I give you a little behind the scenes peek on what's going on in my life and in my business. So, as always, I have my cup of tea and just settling into a little bit of a pause in the afternoon, and I'm really grateful to be setting aside this time to have a little chat with you. So, what I want to share this week is kind of summed up by this picture, which is just something that I stuck in my journal. I do that sometimes. I find a pretty picture and I put it in there. But as this woman, she's up, gazing towards the heavens, and her hand is on her heart, and one is on her solar plexus, the places of emotion and feeling and power. And pretty much what I've been doing lately, and because I'm running a little experiment with myself. For the rest of the year, I am going to let the stars and the astrological cycles and movements guide me, particularly in the areas of where to put my focus and my attention. Historically has not been a great place for me. I tend to get really twisted up around what I should be doing and how I should be doing it, and should I focus here or focus there, and particularly when things get intense in life, which if you saw my last episode, I kind of shared a little bit about, there's been some intensity, and when that happens, that whole mind chatter thing just really ramps up, and I get completely consumed by trying to decide what to do rather than actually doing anything. So, not being an expert in astrology, but really fascinated with it. I kind of know, some of the things and kind of, what's where and all of that, but I've never really directly applied it to my life on a day-to-day basis. So, it sounds like a fun thing to do, and also a chance to just give my poor little, very, very active brain a bit of a rest in trying to, with her really diligent trying to figure out the right thing to do. It's kind of like, okay, we're just going to pass that on for a little bit, see what happens. So there are people in my life that if I told them this, their eyes would roll so hard that their little eyeballs would be rolling down the street. And then there's other people in my life who would just be very enthusiastic and encouraging. And, a few would be like, well, of course, why wouldn't you? And, that's the way it is in life. We make a choice to do something, and some people are going to get it and agree and be very enthusiastic and supportive. Some people are going to be pretty neutral, like, okay, fine, whatever. And then there's the people who aren't going to get it and maybe even have some judgments about it. So it's always wise when you feel a little vulnerable or tender about something that you're doing or starting or thinking about, to give yourself a lot of permission to keep it private. You don't have to tell anybody. Certainly don't have to tell everybody. And you'll know when it's the right time to kind of, pull the curtain aside and give a wider view. It may not ever be necessary. So, I'm wondering, have you ever done something that could be considered a bit unconventional? Something that you wanted to do that you thought maybe people wouldn't get or understand? How did you handle it? Did you do it anyway? Did you decide to back off? Did you keep it really private? Also, is there something that you want to try that maybe could be seen as unconventional or different? I invite you to consider giving it a go, just as an experiment to see what happens. So, what I'm hoping for is that by the end of the year, I'll have a lot more of an embodied feeling of my own personal cycles and energies, and also just kind of being more in touch with what's going on in the sky above, and see what works and what doesn't. So I'll keep you posted. Until next time, please come visit me on my website at LushiousLife.com, or you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter. And if you haven't, I really invite you to join my Luscious Soulful Beauty e-letter, newsletter, love letter. Until next time, have yourself a good cup of tea.